What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Marcus Speaks Play. Look, for the inconvenience, sorry about that. Hold on, something's going on with my earphones. I don't know what's going on with my earphones right now. Because I monitor the show once I, maybe it was picked up by my computer. Let me check. 1 second, everybody. No, didn't pick up. So what's going on? Hold up. Check that. Let's see. I have. Yes. All right. I like to monitor my, what's going on. Because I won't know if something's happening unless I'm listening to it. So, well, without further ado, let me start by saying welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm your host, Marcus. If you can do what the prompt says right there on the bottom of the screen here, and you like this video, share this video as well. If you're new, please subscribe and hit that bell icon to all so you can get all of my notifications immediately once I go live. All right? So, one thing I want you guys to know, on Fridays I do a game stream called Marcus Speaks Live. Sorry, Marcus Speaks Play. You're watching Marcus Speaks Live. Marcus Speaks Play, which is my game stream that I do. I'm currently playing Halo. I'm pretty sure by next week I'll be finishing it. I already have that prompted up That's an upcoming show. So check me out on Fridays. I do my game streaming, Marcus Speaks Play. So don't forget 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but the time will change. But 6:30 p.m. is my default time of when I start. All right. Let's get into this. Like I said, I have 2 YouTube channels. Marcus Speaks, which is my main channel, which you're viewing this on right now. I also have my second channel, Marcus Speaks Play, where I only have exclusive game footage of when I play my games when I do my Marcus Speaks Play show. So, if you could, the links are in the description below. Can you do that for me? Go to them, subscribe. As well, if you like Twitch, it's the same thing over there at Twitch. I have one episode. I wanted to test the waters to see what would happen if I took my podcast over to Twitch. They muted some of the audio over there, so I guess I'll be sticking to YouTube. So, if you could, that link is in the description as well. I am streaming live using Restream.com to stream to YouTube to do my beautiful show, rolling this beautiful bean footage right now. As you can see, my face is right here. What is happening with these damn earphones? I have no idea what's happening with these earphones. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me turn this off. And I charged these things today, which they're fully charged. But anyway, yes, I'm using Restream.com to do my show. So, some people like StreamYards or Streamlabs. I personally like Restream because, it gives me everything that I need. Plus, if you don't know, with some of these places, you can only stream to one place for free. Restream allows you to do 2 channels or 2 places at a time. They're not paying me for this. This is not a promotion. I'm just telling you what I like. All right. So if you have any sort of game recommendation, or if you have a for me to play, or if you have a story recommendation, or a story that's out there and you want to let me know, please do so. Let me know that as well. If you have like a show idea, as well as something that I could do my show, like something I can do during my shows. Like if you have a recommendation of something I can do, don't be shy. Either leave them in the live chat right here, or you can let me know either in the comments section if you're viewing the replay, or you can hit me up in my DMs on social media, which is I am at Marcus.speaks.podcast on Instagram. I am at Facebook at Marcus Speaks. I am also at Marcus. I have a group page on Facebook called Marcus Speaks Podcast. The way you can search that is go into the search bar on Facebook, type in Marcus Speaks Podcast, or in your address bar, www.marcusspeaks.com/Marcus Speaks PC. All right. So, as well, I'm also on Twitter at Marcus Speaks 25. My username over there is Marcus Speaks Podcast. So, if you could, check all those links out in the description below. Please subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff, or whatever. And as well, if you could, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell icon to all. And even if you're, somebody that came back that watched my show and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. All right? And leave a comment. Drop a comment down there. Let me know how you feel. What I'm about to talk about tonight. And, let me know that I'm doing good. So, this is what we're going to do. So, this week that I've had, I usually start out with, my work week and everything that I've, done. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these off. So, but I might as well just take both of them off. Forget this. Yes, forget that. And connect this one. That's probably what's happening. They're trying to probably connect at the same time and it's not working. Or press that. So yeah, my work week was fine. I wasn't much that happened this week. I was practically out of the room all week. Out of my where I work at. I work in like a clean room environment, and I had to do some things outside of the room this week, so I was reluctant for that to happen. So so yeah. But other than that, everything's been fine. Everything's been good. Spirits is up. My mental health is fine. Um, yeah, just everything's good right now. How about y'all? You guys let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment section. How's everybody feeling this wonderful Saturday night? I would love to hear what you guys are talking about. So let's get into some things that's been happening in the world. I'm not gonna start the show just off yet. Just get into some things that's been happening around the world. So if you guys, okay, so I'm a gamer, right? So like I said, I do a game show. I've been playing games practically all my life, video games that is, and I was reluctant when I was. What the hell is happening? I was reluctant when I was maybe 13 years old. I might just have to monitor this manually. This is ridiculous. So yeah, I was reluctant when I was maybe 13 years old, that this show, this channel, what came about, and I loved it. I loved the channel, and it practically lasted the whole time that I was in my practically lasted the whole time in my teenage years, and it went off air in 2013, I believe. And what happened was they got bought out, or no, their channel was being taken off a lot of markets. So I think the first market that let them go was Dish TV. They had a campaign, and the campaign didn't really help them that much, so they was off of that market. Then I believe Verizon took them off of their market. So they only had one market, and that was Comcast. And Comcast took them off, and then that's when basically they got bought out by Esquire TV. So if you guys watch television and you see Esquire TV, that was the very station that G4 Tech TV or G4 TV used to be on. So around maybe 2019, maybe Thanksgiving 2019, if not 2020, it was like this mysterious thing that happened in March, or not March, probably like the summertime, where they, excuse me, where they, it was like this ominous picture, and it had G4 kind of shadowed in it. So everybody that's my age, they got very excited because they was like, so are they coming back to TV? Like what's happening? Are they going to be on the internet or whatever? So we got a little special later on that year where all of the old guests came through. Well, not guests, the host. All the old hosts came through, and all the people that was involved with the show. So um so what happened there was, let me enlarge this a little bit. So what happened there was, they basically was catching up. It was kind of like a satire type of thing because they had a comedian hosting the whole event, and basically they was telling us that in 2021 they were going to be coming back. It was going to be a soft reboot in 2021, and then 2022, that's when they was going to kick things off. So at the beginning of this year, G4 kicked off, and people like me, my age, that's in my age group or so, like we got happy. We watched everything that was going on. So something happened earlier this year, last week to be exact, really, if not like 2 weeks ago. And this is what. Okay, I forgot. I forgot to put that. Hold on, wrong one. Here's the one. There we go. I gotta cue the other one up first too. Um, where am I at? That's not the one. Right here. All right. So this is what happened. All right, and I just let. Her name is Frosk. I guess she goes by her. I don't know her pronouns, but just for now, her or whatever. This is what she had to say.
Online, sexism in gaming. In joining G4,
this is not where I thought we were going,
but
I'm here.
I had no
here.
idea.
I'm listening. Yeah.
In joining G4, I was ecstatic to be part of something that I grew up watching as a child.
As we all did. I don't look when she brought that up. Hold on. Sorry, I muted myself. Once she brought sexism in gaming, everybody was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Really, they said this.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
That's what they said. They didn't want to hear none of that. So, she has been getting roasted for practically a week and a half now. I'm gonna let her explain herself of why she thinks this.
But every time G4 is brought up in various channels, even in this YouTube channel, we have the chat in front of us. I can see you. Without a doubt, there will be backlash because I'm not as bangable as the previous hosts.
Now, with her saying that, when she brings that up, it's like, okay, so this is how they're operating. They're operating just the way how I am now. I can see the chat right in front of me. I have a screen here. You see where my hand disappears? A screen is right here. So if y'all always see me like looking this way, it's because I'm looking at my feed or whatever. Then I have another screen in front of me or whatever right here. My camera's right next to that. So I'm looking at everything that's happening on this screen and everything that's happening on this screen. So if y'all ever see me looking off or whatever, it's not that I'm not trying to make eye contact with you. It's because not only am I listening when I'm monitoring with my phone that's right next to me, I'm also monitoring other things. So just like probably they do, they have like a script in front of them that's running that they read. They're probably getting cues from their cameramen and their producers and stuff like that. No different from what I'm doing right now. It's just I'm a self-operated channel. So this is what she's gonna get into when she's talking about the chat. The chat is basically roasting the fuck out of her or whatever. Probably because of her looks. Who knows? But this is also what she had to say.
It's somehow...
Talk to him, Frost!
It has somehow been expected that you can talk about how much you jerked off to women as a compliment. It's not a...
Okay, so all the old hosts, I never did the one hand jam on myself to any of the old hosts. Although all the other hosts Sorry, my throat was getting dry. All the old hosts, they were cute. They were beautiful women. Olivia Munn, Morgan Webb, to name a few. They also had a few Playboy bunny models that loved gaming that host a couple shows. Uh, I think they had an IGN analyst, which was Jessica Chobot at the time. She's beautiful. So when they were on TV, the producers and CEO or president of the company actually knew maybe if we bring in some beautiful women, we'll start attracting more young, later in their teenage years of boys, as well as as well as girls, so they can see it's not just men here in gaming, as well as guys that's 19, their early to mid 20s and stuff like that, maybe in their late 20s and early 30s. To you have to have eye candy or whatever to attract people. What's the old saying? Sex sells. Yeah, you have a sexy woman on a car, a man is gonna want to buy that car. If not, hang up the picture. Not because of the woman's in the picture, it's because that car is possibly his dream car. So let's keep going.
Weird.
It's dehumanizing and it's weird. Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you.
Check this out. I'm gonna bring up both of those women, and y'all be the judge on what you think. First, I'll type in both of them. And y'all all know Olivia Munn now is a actress. She's been in a few movies. But first, she was on G4. Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb. So we're gonna check these beautiful women out. So, oh, I forgot to name another chick, Layla Kaylee. Layla Kaylee was this. I think she was either English, if not, from Australia or something. She was very nice looking. She was very good on the eyes as well. No, I do not want this. I just want the picture. How can I? Let's do this one, and then I'll blow this up. Why is this locked? All right, I'll blow this up behind me. Y'all let me know what you think. These are very nice looking women. This is Morgan Webb here. That's Olivia Munn. If she thinks that that's not what they, thought that why guys came to G4, then she's bugging. Because the main reason why I used to watch G4 other than just the games, Layla Kaylee used to do like a show, like a 30-minute show that they then took off air. But she still was around. She did it was called The Feed. It was like a 30-minute news show, if not an hour. So then The Feed got taken off, but The Feed amalgamated into Attack of the Show, which is not Morgan Webb, but Olivia Munn and what's his name? Kevin. I forgot his last name, but it was Kevin and Olivia Munn show, Attack of the Show. The Feed was a segment in Attack of the Show, and Layla Kaylee was freaking amazing. So I'll type in Layla Kaylee as well. Layla Kaylee. That is not her. Let's do this. I think that's how you spell her name. Which one? Here she goes, right here. That's Layla Kaylee. Now y'all tell me that what she was talking about is actually is exactly what everybody else feels, because you got me right here. That's the whole reason why. Half of the reason why I was watching G4. Like, if you got cute women on your show or doing shows, people are gonna want to watch. Like sports knows what the hell they're doing. They put the women on there for a reason. If they're cute, oh shit, we got a hit here. We got a girl that can come in here and bring it just as good as the guys. Carrie Champion, anybody? What was the other chick that just left ESPN? The white lady. She had a nice big old butt. But she she was a nice looking lady as well as some of the other ones that's on there now. What is she talking about? I'm pretty sure when they get these jobs, when women get these like broadcast jobs. Matter of fact, well, hold on, I'll finish that point. I'm pretty sure when people get these women get these broadcast jobs, I'm pretty sure the president or whatever talks to them and says, one of the reasons why we pick you is because you're very nice on eyes, and that's probably a little shallow why women get hired for certain things. But hey, it's the truth. But let's keep going. And before I finish, Olivia Munn, Layla Kaylee, Morgan Webb, all did Maxim. As well as I just said that there were a few Playboy models or Playboy bunnies that also did the show. They were in Playboy. So come on now. Like, come on. I'm pretty sure that the producers knew what they were doing. There's no mistakes in broadcast. There's no mistakes. Let's keep going.
Look at y'all.
And that's just obvious sexism. You don't need to explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. Just go ahead and check out Thorne's latest meltdown on Twitter for some spark notes.
No. They just hate you. That's all.
Now, here at XPlay, our reviews are written and produced by a team of people. There are too many games for one person to shoulder the burden. So we divide and conquer. And when we use language like we or I, that's the reviewer. That's coming from the mouth and experience of the reviewer reading that review. And that's...
She doesn't see that as a problem? Because if you watch certain like YouTubers that are gamers that do game reviews, they do game streams like myself, we'll tell you we curate all that stuff ourselves. When we're doing reviews, which I haven't did a review yet, which I'm thinking about doing a review for Halo. But when and this is the main person that I can bring up that does this. What's his name? The Angry Joe Show. So Joe basically will take as much time as possible to figure out everything about the game and figure out what the flaws are of the game, what the pros are of the game, what could be changed with the next iteration of the game or whatever. all that's done by him, and he only has 2 people, and they do their reviews on games themselves, which all comes from them. What we don't want is people like, I guess them, I should say them, that read off from a script to us about their opinions. Now, I can understand this, like myself. When I do my podcast, when I go and research the stuff for my podcast, all this is coming from other people. Now, this is what I do. I do to disconnect myself from what I find. I'll read you the article, but I also have notes in, like, at the end or in the middle of certain places in the article. That's my opinion of what I think. So therefore, I'm not just reading you just the script. I'm reading you my thoughts, and half of the time when I'm reading you guys my thoughts, I just look at the paper for reference. I write out full paragraphs of what I'm going to talk about, but I just look at that stuff for reference because it's my opinion. I should already know what the hell I'm going to say. So we can continue with what she has to say.
Not to say that.
Oh, hold on, before she goes. As well, y'all are dividing and conquering. That's fine. But what they should be doing, if there's, let's say, because they should get all of these games either a week or 2 prior before the public does, like myself. I don't have that access to games like that yet. So once you guys see me on Friday, either that game has already came out maybe a week beforehand, if not that week. So, this is what I also want to say. If they are dividing and conquering, shouldn't the people who are actually being shown on camera be playing these games? And, of course they have to show up to work, but shouldn't they be playing these games in their off time when they're not on camera, getting this stuff out? Writing what they have to say, submitting it to their producers, and then telling us what they think about what they've played. Because what I don't want to see is people on camera just talking. I want to know your experiences, what you thought about the game. What did you think about one of the missions in the game that should have been better or different? Or could they have done something that could have drew in more of an audience or something like that? Or what you're saying to us, will this make me buy this game? That's what we want to see. We don't want to see, and there's been various people who have been covering this, such as Geeks and Games. Like, it's been a lot of people that's been covering this story, but none of them have my tape. And this is what they have yet to say, because most of them are focusing their light on Adam Sessler. Adam Sessler was the second half of not Attack of the Show, of X-Play. X-Play was a show that basically just talked about games. Attack of the Show was more like games, tech, and stuff like that. But X-Play was mainly a show where it just talked about games, new releases, games that's out already, reviews, stuff like that. Like no other place such as IGN or whatever. Like, IGN could have came up with like a YouTube, well, which they did, but as far as like them competing, as far as being on television to the internet, IGN was kind of hurting, which G4 brought them in and hired some of their staff and was like, yo, like, we want you guys to come on because you guys have the insight just as well as we have the insight. So Adam Sessler and I wasn't going to bring this up, but I might as well bring it up. Adam Sessler basically has been having diarrhea of the fingers on Twitter. He's just been writing like some obscene shit. And I won't get into it, just type in Adam Sessler on Twitter and read his tweets. But, like, it's just ridiculous that she had this full meltdown on air, and it's been either making them lose subscribers, if not having people come at all. Now, once they started getting traction, people started subscribing. Like myself, like I subscribed back in 2020. So once they got on air, I was all in. But they're losing subscribers by the day because of people wanting to be woke on camera. It's not the time and it's not the place. This is a place about games that you're talking about. That you're talking about this stuff on. How about you create your own YouTube channel and then talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about? But since you want to go woke on television and talk about bullshit, that has nothing to do with anything. Like, for real. Has nothing to do with anything. Okay, you're not that attractive to the eyes on certain people. Some people may think that you're cute in the way that you dress. Who knows what your sexual orientation is? No one cares because they're there to hear about games. We don't care if you're gay, straight, transgender, you want your pronouns to be she, him, we, us, them. We don't give a fuck. We want to hear about games. And I'll give you a prime example. It's this YouTube channel that I follow, which I don't think they post anything anymore. But for the time being, I think NetherRealm Games brought some guys in to do like reviews and present certain things or whatever. One of their hosts slowly started going trans. Okay, do you think I gave a fuck about that dude going trans? No, because I'm there to see who's the new character, what their button combinations are, and how to play with the character. That's it. As far as this motherfucker want to be in dresses and shit, I don't give a damn, because after I turn this video off, I'm not worried about what the hell he's doing in his personal life. I don't care. So here we go. Let's keep going.
Gerard, TBH, Adam, or myself don't contribute to the reviews. We absolutely do. But it'll always be in varying degrees and take a whole team behind us. That's why we're X-Play and not Adam Play. We have done the experiment and controlled for the variables. Adam will read a script written by the same writer that I will read the other half of the script for, but I'll be the one flamed. And yeah, it also happens to...
Yeah, because... check this out. I think a day before, if not this very same day, she talked about a game, right? It's a game that's coming out for... I guess just Xbox, I guess. I don't know. It's an Xbox exclusive. She says, since PlayStation 5 will not be getting that game, PlayStation 5 will be dead on arrival. Hold up. I need some sound effects. PlayStation 5 will be dead on arrival.
Holy shit.
Dead on arrival?
Oh, hell
Are you high? Look, just because one company doesn't get a game that another company does, doesn't mean that no one will go out and buy that console. If you're a person like me, you buy all consoles. In front of me right now, I have my Xbox. Well, it's my Xbox One, my PlayStation 4. because I have yet to get a PlayStation Series X or S yet, and I have yet to get a PS5, and I also have the Nintendo Switch. If you're a gamer like me, you don't give a fuck about what games are going where, because this is what I use all these consoles for. Almost every game comes out on all consoles, so that's what my Xbox is for. I only have my Nintendo and my PlayStation is for their exclusives. If they only have an exclusive game that's only going to that console, that's the reason why I have the console. Everything else, my Xbox is there for. Hey, Russian guy, we're not doing that over here on this channel, so you're blocked. So, yeah. Let me remove him. How do I do that? Remove the, yeah. So, so I don't understand what the hell she's talking about. To this point, to where I feel as though she doesn't play video games, and that's a problem if you're on a video game YouTube channel, because I believe, excuse me, NBC had picked them up. I believe that they broadcast on both Peacock and YouTube simultaneously, like I do here on my screen. But what are you talking about? Like, no one cares about none of this shit that she's talking about whatsoever. So let's keep going.
And TBH, but that doesn't discount the sexism of how it happens to me when it does. Both things can be true, that there is a general hatred of any change that isn't Adam, and that all receive special flame just for being a woman. And I wish I could turn the camera around so that you could see the incredible team that make X-Play. Half of our producers and writers are women. Emily, Abby, Megan, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Gabby. It goes on and on and on. Former writers that are now on ATOS like Vanessa. When you're in our DMs or on those YouTube comments or in Twitch chat right now, those reactionary threads thinking that I'm somehow ruining your current X-Play experience because you can't objectify me how you previously did to Morgan, or that I'm somehow less qualified to speak on something, but you can't.
No, it's not that. It's not that. It's because this is what we thought. When you guys had that satire get together to promote the show, the channel coming back, we thought all of them was coming back. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn was going to carve out some time from her acting career. Kevin Ferreira, that's his name. Kevin Ferreira was going to come back. Morgan Webb was coming back. Adam Sessler, as well as Blair Herter. And, well, Blair Herter is the president of G4, as well as, or executive producer, I should say. And Blair, I forgot her last name. But we thought all of them were coming back. With the addition of, I forgot the wrestler's name, but we thought that all of them were coming back with addition of the wrestling dude. That's it. But once you guys started, getting boosts in your viewership and your subscribers started going up, you guys hired more people. You hired more cameramen, which you didn't need. You guys hired producers and writers. For what? For what? I can understand an editorial writer that edits what you say, like they take what you wrote and edits it because you probably made some grammatical errors or whatever. and then they put it on the teleprompter so you can then read it. I can understand that. But what I don't understand is why are you having this fucking meltdown because people don't like you? What is up with this generation of people? I'm pretty sure she's younger than me. I'm 33. I'm pretty sure she's either in her early to mid 20s, if not late 20s, maybe. Maybe she could be my age. Who cares? But what is up with this whole liberal woke shit to where people are so goddamn sensitive about shit? Like you didn't grow up and go on the playground and people didn't want to talk or play a game with you or something. You didn't grow up in that era. I did. I had a whole group of white boys run from me when I tried to play kickball with them. They would grab the ball and run. Until one of my friends came out late to recess, saw what was happening to me, and we both whooped all 6 of their asses. But what type of fucking mentality do you have to where you're bothered by what the viewers have to say? This is what the internet is now. If you don't understand that, then leave the company. Like, leave the damn company. This is what you're going to see day in and day out. Get a thicker skin, because it's just going to keep happening until you leave. And then if you do leave, it's going to happen to the next person. This is what people do on the internet now. They just troll. That's all they do. I watch a person. Shouts out. Well, no, he doesn't like people to name who he is. So I know who he is. But it's a person that I watch his podcast when he goes live. And he gets various trolls because of the things that he said over the years. He has various channels that have been taken down, and he has various social media pages that has been taken down as well. But do you think he gives a damn what people think about him? No. He's been doing this shit for like 10 years now. Who cares? Because he doesn't. Let's keep going.
Quite put your finger on why, even though I'm reading the exact same script as Adam, but you have no problem with he's part of it. You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day, and you're gatekeeping the gaming space. So maybe...
No, we're not. Do you know what Joe Rogan does? He doesn't read the comments. So stop reading the comments. Allow someone else to read the comments. Your focus should be on getting out what you have to say. That should be your focus.
For 2022, we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
That's what she had to say. And people have been roasting the dog shit out of her. You know why? Because, like I just iterated, this is the time of the troll. This is the time of the weak person. Weak people go on to social media now, and YouTube and places like that, just to troll people. That's all they do. That's all they do now. They just troll now. It's ridiculous, to say the least. It's ridiculous. That's all. If you could, like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell icon to all, please. Alright. Next story. Well, now, let me leave this up for a little bit. Alright. So, have you guys heard about what Jason Derulo's been getting into lately? So, let me share this with you guys. Hold on, this is what I forgot to do when I played that video. When I go and I make my points while I'm talking, I have videos to go along with it to further my point. But the only reason why I do this is because I want you guys to get what I'm talking about. But YouTube has a thing in place to where, I have to transform the content that I'm using in order for it to be fair use. Which it is, which I do. I transform it. But I want to tell you guys about fair use. All right. That was beautiful, Marcus. So, Jason Derulo, this is what he's been getting into lately.
Where I slapped him, dog. Hey, yo, where I slapped him. Where I slapped him, where I slapped him, where I slapped him, where I slapped him.
Video shows Jason Derulo fighting two men after being called a.
So if you guys didn't catch what was said in those little pop-ups, so somebody mistaken Jason Derulo for Usher, and Jason Derulo went the fuck off. He went the hell off. So I'll let this person further explain what's going on.
Jason Derulo got into an altercation in Las Vegas on Tuesday morning when a man was caught on video calling him Usher and cursing at him. The incident happened at the area hotel in Las Vegas when Jason Derulo clashed with a group of men after one of them called him.
Where I slapped him, where I slapped him, where I slapped him.
So although they were trolling, because if you can hear the sarcasm in the person's voice, they were basically trolling him, and he took the bait. So I'm pretty sure the person pressed charges on Jason. But let's keep going.
Hey, yo.
And here is additional footage posted to Instagram shows Jason Derulo being escorted out of the hotel in handcuffs moments after the fight broke out. It's still unclear what sparked the altercation between Jason Derulo and the two men, but based on the footage captured leading up to the fight, it looked as though words were exchanged when he was going up the escalator, which made him come back down, and that's when one of the men yelled at him. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.
Alright. So, I can understand why he did what he did for the simple fact that, he's not Usher. He has various platinum albums out there, and he wants people to put respect on his name, which I understand. But what hasn't Jason Derulo not learned in this climate? Or if ever, when you're a public figure. You don't fight people because you have the money, they don't. So they want some of your money. So by that being said, you're basically a dumbass for taking the bait for them. You're taking the bait for them, being stupid. They were being stupid. So you got stupid with them. Ridiculous. So, have something else. And this shit is crazy. And what I mean is crazy, it is crazy. So, I guess if you guys have been on either Etsy or Amazon or getting something delivered from UPS or FedEx, just know it might be on hold because this is what's happening right now.
Fuck.
photos. The images are startling. Thousands of empty or damaged packages lining the tracks along the Union Pacific LA Railway. Amazon packages, UPS boxes, all meant for delivery to customers along the West Coast. They're opened by cargo thieves who take advantage of the trains stopping or slowing down to break into the containers. Union Pacific officials saying they've had a 160% increase in cargo thefts in the LA County area, with over 90 containers broken into every day.
The arrests are happening.
Now check this out. Do y'all remember when I brought up a few weeks back? It was in December sometime, I believe. That I think it was in maybe November. I get either or. Either it was in around Thanksgiving, if not December. I said basically that the LAPD as well as gang members in LA said, do not come to LA. It is not safe. We cannot protect you. As well, I brought up in various shows that since there is an inflation and there's a wealth gap and stuff like that, there's been a lot of increasing crime in the blue states, the Democratic and liberal states. It's been a boost. So, with that being said, a lot of crime is happening. As you guys remember, in Chicago as well as LA, stores were being robbed as well as people were being robbed. There's a story. There's some. I think he's like an actor or a singer or something like that. He got robbed at gunpoint, as well as various other celebrities who go out in the LA nightlife. They got robbed as well. So, with that being said, since there's an increase in these blue states, thefts have been happening a lot. Now, this is what I want to say about this the train freight car thefts. They're very creative. These criminals are very fucking creative. They said, fuck the middleman. We gonna get it straight from the source. I.e., robbing these train cars. And you know what's happening? There's police at these train yards. Or whatever, right? So it's like, I think they said sometimes it'd be like maybe 30 people boarding these trains with bolt cutters and cutting the locks and stuff, and opening up the freight containers and going in them and robbing these motherfuckers. As y'all can see, all that debris that was on the hold on, where am I at? 34 seconds. So as you can see, you see all this debris or whatever. There was a video that I watched of somebody who covered this same exact topic. He had it in the beginning of his show. The news, who was it? Something LA. It was their news station, their local news station. He said that the train tracks were almost clear until this happened. So, this is what I want to ask. What the hell is happening? Like, what is happening out here that people are, well, I tell you what, I brought it up why it's happening. Since this whole pandemic, whatever, and people got fired from their jobs and stuff, they need means of living, right? So what better else other than to sell things? Now, I know you can say, Marcus, there's better ways that they can do this. I understand it. But when you lack education and you have no skills, what do you go to? You go to crime. So this is what these fools been doing. They've been hitting up freight cars. Like I said, very creative crime. Because who would think, instead of us robbing people of these things, but in hindsight, that's what they're doing, because people trying to get their orders fulfilled. Why not hit the source of where this stuff is going? I mean, it's coming from. and there's a supply chain shortage. So, but put this in perspective, everything that you saw on those train tracks is all insured and it's all guaranteed. So everything that gets robbed, right, is insured. The company that ordered these items and the people who have ordered these items, they'll get another item, as well as the company gets a kickback from those thefts. Look, dog. Manfred, we're not doing this. So you're blocked. All right? There you go. Wow. Let me get him out of here more because his comments are up there. But anyway, let me keep going. So, yeah, so Amazon and all these other companies, they're gonna get their kickback from the items, from them insuring these items and stuff like that, and making it guaranteed that it will get to various places of where they have to be. It's just gonna keep happening because the police cannot arrest them because these items that they're stealing, well, if we put this in perspective, since certain places, I guess around the country, unless the items exceed $999, it's not a misdemeanor. So by time, if they do catch them and handcuff them, and by time the police officer's writing his report, that perp's getting out. He's gonna be back on the streets that very same day. So it's just gonna be a fight until some of this shit changes. Which I've said that since we have President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris in the White House, and we all know Biden's track record with the crime bill, and we all know Kamala Harris's track record with her being the California state attorney, that with all of this happening, we might get another crime bill probably the time that they are in office, if not before they leave. So just look out for that. So I'm gonna allow this lady to explain in full what's happening.
We're working with LAPD and LA County Sheriffs. They are helping us in terms of arrest individuals who are in and out like a revolving door and come right back to perpetrate the crime. There's no consequence to this type of theft because there's now no bail for the most part, and they're put as misdemeanor crimes. They're no longer felonies.
Can they make the containers more secure?
Many people may not know that the containers are not owned by Union Pacific Railroad. They're owned by our customers. And so we are working with our customers to kind of harden the ability for them to break in. But if people are committed to try to break in, they will find the tools necessary to try to break in.
They don't think that if there are armed guards on these trains, let's say that they have armed guards ride the trains, just like how the look, David Borson, no, we're not doing that here. Look, if you're the same person, just stop, because it's just gonna keep getting blocked. Like it's ridiculous. Don't keep doing that dumb shit. Now, they could do that, like how the airlines have a U.S. Marshal on hand or whatever. They could do that, as well as train U.S. Marshals are on ride on trains and stuff like that. And I believe like cruises that only like happen, like let's say like there's a cruise that goes from Baltimore to Fort Lauderdale, something like that. I'm just making something up. They have U.S. Marshals on those as well. So I guess the only thing that they probably really can do is probably have some sort of armed security on hand, maybe. So yeah, let's keep going.
Union Pacific showed us a letter they say they sent to LA County District Attorney George Gascon asking for help. Otherwise, they say they're going to have to start diverting train routes. His office saying they're looking into this. In Los Angeles, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Well, and late today, we did receive a statement from District Attorney George Gascon's office that says in part this: some cases presented to our office by Union Pacific have been filed, such as burglary and grand theft, while others have been declined due to insufficient evidence. We make charging decisions based on the evidence.
All right. So, everybody, if you have ordered something like I have, you probably are going to have postponed tracking because your order probably is going to have to get refulfilled. And mind you, that's only in LA. So who's to know if that train is only, supplying that stuff to the LA residents. All right. So, if you guys haven't heard this yet, and I hope you guys have, because it's going to affect everybody. This is going to affect everybody. So, President Biden put in a law earlier this year that they want all transactions to be tracked. This has happened. This is happening right now. Any transaction over $600 will be tracked. So if you have transactions happening in your bank account that exceed $600, then the IRS have the ability now to track where that stuff is going. Not only that, it will be taxed as well. Because you gotta remember, in 2020, there were 3 checks that printed. And all those checks, it got to maybe some odd $1 trillion. And all of that money that they printed for those checks to go out is all of the money that's here right now. So, like, all that currency that we got in those checks, all that money is out there now. That's the reason why we have inflation right now, because the dollar dropped. So therefore, items at stores have to be hiked, and it's at like a 7% hike up. So if you bought something, at the store that was $3.10, now it's $3.80. Or is it 0.7? I think it's 0.7%. I should say, instead of saying 7%. But if it is 7%, if it hopped over on the other side of the decimal, we're in a world of hurt. Because not only is this gonna be unfair to the American people, but they're tracking our privacy. Basically, they're going into our bank accounts. And what if we get audited about this stuff? Check this out. Not only with the transactions being tracked, if you send money out from Zelle, Apple Pay, what is it? Did I say Zelle? Is it Zelle? Yeah, I think Zelle, Venmo, and Cash App. That's being tracked as well as it will be taxed. So I'm gonna allow you guys to see this real fast.
Handy apps that make it easy to split dinner, pay your share of the bills, or gift a pal some green. cash apps like Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal are also convenient for business owners who can collect payment in just a few clicks.
The gig economy has changed the way America does business. And because of that, the IRS is trying to keep up.
The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 passed back in March, and it modifies the IRS reporting requirements for transactions using these cash apps. When the new rule takes effect on January 1st, the apps will notify the IRS when payments top $600, triggering a 1099 form to be sent out.
Regardless of the means of payment, if you're engaged in a business operation of any type.
So hold on. If you guys haven't watched me, right, I have never asked you guys to send me a cash app, ever. This is the reason why. Because I have yet made it here on YouTube. Like, when I mean, like, made it, I'm not working for myself yet. Like, I haven't fully, I'm not fully working for myself yet. This is just a hobby right now. A fun hobby at that. And I'm not saying when I do go full, you know, working for myself, doing just YouTube videos and Twitch videos and stuff like that. I'm not saying I won't ask you guys for a cash app, but I am saying that I won't be depending on you guys to send me a cash app or Zillow or PayPal or something like that. I'm not looking forward to you guys shelling your hard-earned money out on me, because on the back end, I will be making money by views and stuff like that. Now, all these YouTubers who's just starting out, talking about hit the cash app, hit the cash app, hit the cash app. Here's my cash app, hit the cash app. It's these motherfuckers that's about to get a world of reckoning. By them, they're gonna be receiving a 1099 or a W4 in the mail to then track, you know, those purchases and those transactions. They're not gonna understand why it's happening, because A, they don't pay attention to what's happening. That's the reason why I got the title is what I'm telling you guys tonight. Some of this stuff relates to what I'm talking about tonight. So, what is it that they're going to do? Because some of these YouTubers that just starting out asking for cash apps, they're not working. Most of them aren't, because they got laid off back in 2020. So, let's keep going.
And you receive payment, you're supposed to report it to the IRS, even if you hadn't been getting a 1099 of any type before.
It's not a new tax.
Hold on, it's not a new tax. Do you guys remember me talking about how when I started at my job? Well, no, not me starting at my job, but I've been at my job for, I think, 7.5 years now, going on 8. It was a new thing that I learned when I worked there, because my last job they never like gave out like bonuses and stuff like that. But this is what I also learned, and I learned 2 things over the course of me covering this. A company cannot just give you money. If you have your own company, you just can't give somebody money, because then the IRS will then audit you and ask you, where did this money go? You just can't pull from your business account and give somebody $1,000. You can't. If you hold some sort of like, it has to be like $1,000 of your own money, because then you could probably write that off as like a donation or something like that. Here's the second thing. B, There's a such thing. The reason why a company can give out money, and if they do give out money, if they give it to you as like a gift, excuse me, there's a thing called a gift tax, which means before receiving that money, either the company has to tax that money out before they give it to you, or you have to pay the taxes. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, well, that's messed up, for the simple fact that why can't they just give us, the 100 that they was going to give us? Why does it have to be taxed by, what is it, like 30% or something like that? Because this country is built from gangsters. Taxes, income taxes, that's some gangster shit right there. It's some people that just go exempt, like they exempt themselves from paying taxes. Now, I won't tell you that you should or you shouldn't pay them, but this is what I will say. If you don't pay them, and you get a little phone call, and the IRS is on the other line, then you're in big trouble. If you do it, if you do it, and nothing happens, just know the federal government always takes its time because they're always collecting information. So be smart about what the hell you're doing out here. I'll let this video keep playing. Here we go.
But some business owners have been getting away with keeping more money in their pockets since the apps haven't been reporting to the IRS until transactions hit 20 grand.
It would definitely result in more people reporting income on their tax return. I'm sure there are people that are tempted when stuff isn't reported to the IRS to just not include it. So it will encourage compliance.
Cracking down on self-employed workers who are making income through the apps, not your personal use. But the line gets a little blurry when the same Cash App account is being used for both personal and business transactions.
They don't have any way of knowing whether you have your own individual side business or a regular business that's just in your personal name.
They're just trying to track who's getting paid where, and if it's actual income, they want to tax it.
You'll start seeing 1099 forms reporting Cash App income in January of 2023. Catherine Hawley, Fox 13 News.
All right. So, I gave you guys that little information, and I'm going to expound upon it a little bit. So, here we go. IRS targets your side hustle and crack down on transactions over $600. That's the subline. So, it just got harder to hide from the IRS. Starting this month in January, users selling goods and services through such popular sites as Venmo, Etsy, and Airbnb will begin receiving tax forms if they take a payment of more than $600. One by one, in recent months, tech giants have been warning users of the coming charges and asked them to provide tax information. Until this year, the threshold was much higher, $20,000 and 200 transactions. So it didn't affect nearly as many people. Venmo told users in its messages about the changes. Hold on, my damn earphones is too loud. All right. This requirement only pertains to payments received for sales of goods and services and does not apply to friends and family payments. The moves have sparked outcry on social media. For one thing, the lower threshold comes as more and more Americans bet on themselves. A record 5.4 million adults applied for form their own businesses last year. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, data released this week, that's partly because it's easier than ever to use apps to sell crafts, provide services, or rent out a second or third home online. For some, the charges are at odds with President Joe Biden's vow to tax wealthier Americans. Maybe it's a boom in the IRS, but it's not coming from the billionaires, it's coming from the smaller businesses. Sandra O'Neill, a tax attorney and partner of Baldrige and Dewey, said in an interview, it's much higher to go after the billionaires. It's much harder to go after Amazon. As we know, Amazon didn't pay taxes last year at all. But what we do know, Elon Musk just spent, a few billion in taxes. I think it was like $21 billion or something like that he spent last year. Or whatever. But Amazon paid no taxes last year. Like, none. Zero. Zilch. None. If you have someone who makes a mistake, a small business is very easy to go after them. Apps, marketplaces, and payment providers have long had to report certain payments to the IRS. For any user that collected more than 200 transactions that totaled more than $20,000 in value in a given year, the new 600 threshold arrived last year as part of the American Rescue Plan. With the White House built as a way to provide relief to small businesses hit harder by the pandemic. Take hairstylists. During the pandemic, many beauticians struck out on their own rather than workers on a commission basis for more established salons. PayPal Holding Inc., Venmo, and Block Inc. Cash App became hugely important to stylists, said Mary Rector, Chief Executive Officer of the hairstyling community behind the chair. This adds insult to injury, knowing how long they were shut down for and how much income they lost, said Rector. Whose group says it includes 10 million hairdressers around the world. These people went out on their own. They started to do house calls, which that's what my barber did. Instead of him coming to me, I went to him. I went to his house and he cut my hair. I kept him and a few other of us. I just don't want to just shine a light on myself, but me and a few other of his customers kept him in business and kept him having the ability to pay his bills. So, real quick, I want to give a big round of applause to my barber, Walt, for staying in business and keeping his phone ringing for me getting a haircut, because $40 goes a long way. A lot of y'all saying, damn, $40 is a lot of money for a haircut, but mind your business, all right? Mind your business. Now, let's keep going. Let's see, where was I at? Okay, these people went out on their own. They started to do house calls. They started to rent chairs. That's why Venmo became such a big deal. The moves come as the IRS has been thrown into chaos during the pandemic. A report this year from the Taxpayer Advocate Service found depleted staffing and a lack of funding for the agency has caused a high volume of unprocessed returns. Taxpayers are frustrated with the backlog and lack of communication from the IRS. The IRS is in crisis. Aaron M. Collins, the National Taxpayer Advocate, said in a report, as as the IRS is preparing to begin the 2020 filing season, it is poised to carry over millions of unprocessed returns and millions of pieces of taxpayer correspondence, resulting in even longer delays for taxpayers who have been potentially waiting for far too long. Now I have another video, and it's y'all's boy, Biden. He's mentioned, I believe a speech as well is brought up that he talked about. So let's get into it.
Sean Duffy. Sean, it's great to have you back on. What do you think of the House now moving on with Elise Stefanik leading the charge against the Biden agenda, possibly replacing Liz Cheney?
Well, I think that Liz Cheney is going to be out as a foregone conclusion. I mean, Liz Cheney, as a member of Congress, she can say whatever she wants and is held accountable to her constituents. However, as the conference chair, she's put her interests over the interests of the conference, and she's created real consternation with the Republican base and members of Congress. So I think on Tuesday, Liz, she is going to be voted out. The next week, they'll probably come back and have elections. I think Elise Stefanik is probably the top choice. This has been a position that a woman has normally held. And so I imagine that Elise, smart, articulate, and been supportive of the president's agenda, will get the nod.
And Sean, you know, New Yorker magazine reporting that Liz Cheney, quote, secretly orchestrated an opinion piece in the Washington Post earlier this year from all 10 living former defense secretaries slamming former President Trump. That doesn't look good for Liz Cheney. I want to move on to this. The Biden administration, in order to pay for his big spending, they're now talking about giving even more power to the IRS to make banks a tool in the IRS arsenal. It would force banks, possibly even brokerages, to automatically and directly report to the IRS and to the government all of their customers' money flows going in and out of all of their bank accounts and maybe brokerage accounts too. We've never seen this before. They already get our wage information. Do they need this information? But they get so much information in 1099s. Why do they need that?
Exactly. So listen, we want everyone who owes taxes to pay the tax bill that they owe. Now, we all want our taxes to be lower, but if you owe a bill, you should pay it. But the fact that they're going to go take all of this information, the inflow and outflow of your bank information, two questions come up. Number one, you think back to Barack Obama, what the IRS was doing with regard to the Tea Party and not giving them tax-exempt status. They play politics within the IRS, number one. But number two, that's a lot of personal private data that they're not equipped to hold securely. So,
right. Like, who knows? Maybe some of that data that they're tracking will be leaked. Or who remembers when the pipeline got hacked by ransomware? Who's to say that won't happen? And then a lot of our transactions and our personal banking information and stuff like that will be exposed, and we won't have nothing to do about it because Biden wants a bigger spending bill to happen so companies can stay afloat and stuff like that. Now, that's cool. That's good. I understand. But we have a supply shortage happening, we have inflation happening, and we have and we have a money flow problem because we have a coin shortage, if you guys weren't aware, as well as a lot of people aren't really using money like that, like paper money, as well as they're saving more of their money because Bitcoin has stepped on the scene, and a lot of people use Bitcoin, and there is a lot of places now that you can purchase things using Bitcoin. So the reason why that this isn't a good idea to have the IRS track people's spending transactions and out transactions and in transactions, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Like, an individual bank sometimes has, either a technological issue. If not, they get hacked sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. I believe it happened to Bank of America one year. But it can't happen. We can't allow this to happen. This is why. Because if it happens, if this shit goes through, well, it's already went through. But if Biden grants the power for the IRS to take data and then the data gets leaked, what the hell is he gonna say after that? Because it's just gonna be his fault. Because he put this out there. He allowed the IRS to do this. The IRS did it. So really, the IRS is gonna be doing this. It's out of our hands. We only was granted the power to do this. We didn't give ourselves the power. You have to look at the man in charge. But y'all voted for this guy. Crazy. Let's keep going.
I think we have a right to privacy. They don't have a place to access all this information. And I think banks should push back. Now, they probably won't, but the American people should push back. They get enough information on us, and we are entitled to just one little sliverless of a little bit of privacy. And by the way, if they think we've avoided taxes, then go get our bank information. But if I'm not a suspect of avoiding taxes, just don't automatically go take my bank information. I don't know what you're going to use it for, and I don't trust you in the IRS.
Yeah, and you're right. You make an important point. The IRS has been abused for political purposes, mostly 90% of the time by Democrats, going back to FDR, happened under Kennedy, happened under Clinton and Obama. Right. And also the IRS has been hacked before. So we got to watch this one. And the other thing too, Sean, what do you think?
So why would they do this? This is stupid. This is very stupid. They should not have the power to be able to take bank data from people who have a transaction over $600, if not $600, or over. They shouldn't have the power to do this. They shouldn't even have the power to even tax people's transactions from these apps. Because let's say that the person gave a $600 donation to some, kids or something like some children's hospital or something. So now they have to be taxed on money that then they can claim on their taxes as a donation and get a kickback for it. Like, this shit makes no sense. Like, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but when I hear certain things that don't sound right, this is what I do. Now, that shit don't sound right. Now, with that being said, this shit don't sound right. Why should the American government think that they're a communist country? Because this happens in China. Do you know? Check this out. You probably didn't even know this. Do you know if you jaywalk in China, a picture will be taken? It's just like if you run a red light here in America. And they take a picture of your vehicle, then they have a zoomed in picture of your license plate. If you jaywalk in China, and then this is what will happen. They'll take a picture, they'll send you a notice, and that the price of whatever your ticket is gets deducted out of your paycheck. That's how much control China has over their citizens. That shit's insane. Sounds like we're going there, aren't we? Are we a democracy? No. We are a republic. It says it in our Pledge of Allegiance. A lot of people say we're a democracy. No. Say the Pledge of Allegiance as loud as you can and stop when it says, "And to the republic of which it stands." Stop there. You shouldn't even be pledging that shit no more, because we was indoctrinated with this shit for years, 12 years to be exact, 14 if you went to pre-K, which I did. I went to pre-K and then kindergarten, which pre-K is just pre-kindergarten. Yeah, man, like, you freaking don't understand how dangerous this shit is. This shit is nuts. Now let's keep going.
Of this, Biden and Democrats want Biden's infrastructure Green New Deal to overhaul the entire U.S. economy. You probably saw this, Sean. China's greenhouse gas emissions now exceed the entire rest of the developed world combined. What do you?
Hold on. I'm not going to comment on what you just said, but I have another thing to add to what I just said. A lot of people feel as though, let's take the Pledge of Allegiance again. In the Pledge of Allegiance, we also say, hold on, allegiance to the flag, to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, to liberty and justice for all. Do y'all know what liberty means? Freedom and constraints. So when people say, well, America's a free country. No, the fuck it's not. It has constraints. We have liberties. We don't have freedoms. We have liberties. Let's keep going. I know I just went full black power on you.
Well, when I was in Congress, I talked about this all the time. If you care about the environment and CO2 emissions, then you care about putting America first and making sure that we have rules and regulations and taxes that keep manufacturing in America. Not only is it good for the American worker because they have a job, but if those manufacturers leave America and go to China, they don't do it as cleanly as we do. It's worse for the environment. So if you set up policies like what's happening right now with huge regulation and big taxes and companies leave, you see far more output because they don't have the rules and regulations in places like China. And we live in a global environment where we all share the pollution from countries around the world. So good policy is making sure that businesses stay right at home here in America and don't go to China.
Now, Biden said he wanted to tax the rich. This is basically what damn near every Democratic president or what is it before they get when they're running. Presidential candidates. They always say, I want to tax the rich. Or they'll say, we want less taxes. Well, Republicans usually say less taxes. And then Democrats usually say, let's tax the rich. Y'all do know that the rich never gets taxed all that much. Let's say for them, taxes is like 40%. When they say let's tax the rich, it might bump up 2%, and that 2% to a rich person is like, nah, that's too damn much, dog. Nah, we not doing that. I'm not paying you the 42, dog. I'm not doing that. Or we can get Jeff Bezos, a person like Jeff Bezos, to not pay any at all. Somebody, or we all, need to hire Jeff Bezos' tax attorney. For the simple fact, not only that, it is account manager. For the simple fact that if he's getting away with not paying it, why can't we? Shit is crazy. Now, some more shit on Biden. This nigga's just out here talking crazy. How long I've been live? Okay, now 45. People, if you could, like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you're new, alright? Thank you. Hit that bell icon to all so you can immediately get all of my notifications. That's why we say this. If you just hit subscribe, the bell icon just says moderate to where it only gives you some of my notifications. What you want to do, you want to hit that bell icon to all for the simple fact that when I go live, I'd suggest that you might want to hear what I have to say. Now, your boy Biden. Fuck it, I'll just let him say it himself.
We have to give guidance, it seems to me, better guidance than we've been able to give. And so what I talk about here is Trump has basically had a one-point plan, open business.
Trump ain't got shit to do with this. He's out of office. Well, matter of fact, no. This is when he was campaigning. Sorry. So this video resurfaced from, or it surfaced from last year when he was campaigning. So this is what he had to say.
Just open, but it does nothing to keep workers safe and keep businesses able to stay open. And secondly, it has done very little to generate consumer confidence. He's going down to Texas on Juneteenth, right? The first major massacre, literally speaking, of the Black Wall Street, right?
No. The worst massacre in this country to ever happen is during slavery. Biden's very uninformed. Or ill-informed, I should say. Just keep going.
Years ago. He's going to have a rally. And he doesn't wear a mask. And he doesn't think this. I mean, come on. But
come on, man. Had to give you. I gotta get that soundbite for my board. Come on, man.
And Dr. King's assassination did not have the worldwide impact that George Floyd's death did.
This is where I have to stop. I don't really have. I can play more, but I really don't have to play anymore. This is why. Hey, Biden, check this out. Dr. King's assassination is much bigger than George Floyd's. Now, I have this in my notes, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I will reiterate myself. But I won't get on to any of these points that I have for you right now. That's written down. This is what Dr. King's assassination means. When Dr. King was placed in jail, he and the rest of his family were lifelong Republicans, just like many other black folks was. Now, who was in office at that time? Lyndon Baines Johnson. He was King was incarcerated, and he asked Lyndon Baines as well as his father was campaigning for LBJ, and they asked him, could you try to get my son out of jail? Could you get my son out of jail for the simple fact that he's out here trying to liberate us Black Americans and or Negro Americans at that time. And we would appreciate it if you could get him out because he's in there for bullshit charges. LBJ didn't really want to have anything to do with it, so that's when JFK became the Negro Americans' candidate for president. That's who black people voted for back then. So, with that being said, under JFK, a lot of people died. Not saying that JFK had anything to do with this. I don't want to put any dirt on his name. It was really J. Edgar Hoover. Anyway, when King was assassinated, let me tell you why he was assassinated. I'm pretty sure I brought this up before. The speech that we all fell in love with, well, I would say that you guys fell in love with, was I Have a Dream. Right? This is the speech that I'm in love with, and the rest of us, well, people, what some people call us pro-blacks, fell in love with. I feel like I've led my people into a burning house. We love that motherfucking speech. This is why. Because after he did all that he could for black Americans at that time, and he asked, for equal rights, not the term for desegregation. He only asked for equal rights. That's all he ever asked for. He was like, look, we can segregate if you want, we just don't want anybody putting their hands on us anymore. Right? But after Dr. King met with Malcolm X's teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that's when he started radicalizing himself. That's where you get that very speech from. And I feel like I've led my people into a burning house. That's where you get that speech from. That was 1967, I believe, if not 1968, when he made that speech. Various other speeches after that, when he started radicalizing black Americans, and after J. Edgar Hoover sent his wife various tapes of him having sex with not only black women, but white women as well. That didn't stop their marriage, nor did it stop Martin Luther King from trying to liberate black Americans. That was heard all over the world. It was the very blueprint that Nelson Mandela sort of followed, which landed him in jail. So how is it that Joe Biden, that Martin Luther King's assassination wasn't as big as George Floyd's? Because all we know about George Floyd is that he paid for his items in a store with a fake $20 bill. When the lab results came back of his DNA, it had a minuscule amount of fentanyl in it, as well as, I believe, cocaine, they said. Watch the court case. And then there was a not a national, but a worldly outcry of police to stop killing black people. When in the 1960s, the very South, and not just the South, the North was doing this shit too. This wasn't talked about all that much. Was killing black people, and not only the South, all over America, was killing black folks by either beating them to death, hanging them, or burning them or drowning them. Do y'all remember Emmett Till? What kicked off the civil rights movement? Where his face wasn't even fucking recognizable even to his mother. And she had in Time, no, not Time magazine, sorry. And was it Ebony magazine? If not Jet magazine, is one of those two. I can't remember. Where she allowed, or she had she had an open casket funeral because she wanted the people to see what happened to her son. That kicked off the civil rights movement. Let me tell you, and I've said this before, this is what kicked off the whole national or worldly outcry, which is poetic if you think about it. A 23-year-old young man, is killed by two white men in a neighborhood. They just were sentenced to life in prison. The McMichaels. The young man I'm talking about is Ahmaud Arbery. This happened in late February, if not March of last year. Then in April, if not May, I can't remember the date. I think it was in May, early May. Cops knock on the door of a young lady, and the young lady was in there with her boyfriend. His name escapes me right now. It was a normal night for him, and they were about to go to bed, and the cops aggressively was knocking on his door because they wasn't looking for Breonna. They was looking for the very person that was receiving mail at Breonna's house. Door got kicked down by the cops. The boyfriend said, well, this might be a break-in. Pulls his gun out, starts shooting. He didn't hit anybody, but the cops opened fire, and not only did bullets kill a woman, they entered certain of the residents' homes that lived in the area or in that very vicinity. The woman I'm talking about is Breonna Taylor. These two were the catalysts of this world event. You know who kicked that off? George Floyd. But there are hundreds of names before George Floyd that this has happened to countlessly. George Floyd was just the breaking point, and everybody said, fuck it, let's get out here and protest, which protests never really helped any damn thing. So then you guys do this. Once election season happens, you get the very man that wrote the very crime bill that incarcerates the very people who were killed. Mainly the men in that culture. In which his running mate incarcerates under that bill the very men or people that this man signed off on the bill for. Damn. All right, well, let Joe Biden tell you why he thinks Martin Luther King's death had less impact than George Floyd.
Well, what George Floyd happened to George Floyd, now you got how many people around the country millions of cell phones. It's changed the way everybody's looking at this. Look at the millions of people marching around the world. The world. So my point is that I think people are really realizing.
Hold up. This is what he hasn't realized. You know, when Martin Luther King died, this whole fucking country went in flames. This whole fucking country went in flames. One event that we know of in Ohio, I believe it was Columbus, they had to get James Brown to come and do a free concert to calm the black people down. Now, the black people in 1968 actually had a reason why they was burning this place down. These black people these days are so fucking misguided that infiltrators can come in, pay some of us off. I'm not including myself because I didn't protest neither time. Can pay some of us off. Some agent provocateurs can be out there, kick some of this rioting bullshit off. But no one knows why motherfuckers are rioting. Even the news media can't tell you why motherfuckers are rioting. I don't understand this shit. How could he open his mouth and say that dumb shit right there? This is the only reason why that they feel that George Floyd's death is more important. Because, like I said, it's poetic. You had two catalysts, which we can call Ahmaud Arbery at his age a boy. Then we have Breonna. Breonna Taylor was, in her late 20s, early 30s. She's practically a woman. And then George Floyd was, 42 or 45? And that's the man. The man, woman, and child. A black man, a black woman, and the black child. Very poetic, right? Ever heard of the Holy Trinity? Poetic as shit, ain't it? This has happened countless times within this country's history. But CRT is a problem. But no one wants to admit that this very country still allows this shit to happen. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss something? Because I've only been alive 33 years. Almost 34. And I've seen some of this shit happen. Damn. Alright. I'll let him explain.
This is a battle for the soul of America. Who are we?
Nobody. Who the fuck are you? Because as far as I know, people who voted for you looked at you as a savior because they didn't like somebody. Voting isn't about a popularity contest. It's about what the fuck that person can do for you. Now, although Trump didn't have the best demeanor and the best attitude, but Trump was doing some shit. You gotta look at what he was doing, his policies and all that. You gotta look at certain things that he was doing. Because Trump was running this country the very way of how most people view this country, as a business. He was running the fuck out of this country because he's a CEO himself. Now, although within a business you do have a president, but the CEO owns the company. So who's the CEO of this country? No one knows. Nah, I don't need that. So let me get into this article of what they had to say about what Joe Biden was talking about. So here we go. As the nation pauses to observe Martin Luther King Jr. Day, a video of then presidential candidate Joe Biden says George Floyd's death had a greater global impact than the assassination of Dr. King is recirculating and drawing criticism. Hell, Kamala Harris compared January 6th to Pearl Harbor. Who are these motherfuckers that's in this office? Do they not know shit? They went through college. Do they not know shit? I ain't even go to college and I know more shit than what the fuck they do. Fuck. Like, is she serious? Like, really, bitch? Is you serious? January 6th was just as bad as Pearl Harbor. How about this? How about during Pearl Harbor, the Japanese military did an aerial strike on a naval base in Hawaii it was in the town of Pearl Harbor. Right? Now, that made America drop not one, but 2 hydrogen bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Decimated the entire fucking place. Decimated it. To where there was only a few people who lived. Children died even. Hydrogen bomb. Now, that led America into World War II. For the simple fact that America didn't look at what the fuck they did to Japan, which I believe they locked them out of something. I can't remember what it was, what they locked them out of. Which made Japan bomb Pearl Harbor. Now, I said this before when it comes to the terrorists that attacked the Twin Towers. You know how much shit America was doing to the Middle East? What makes you think that some group wouldn't come out of it and not only come out of this and raise all hell, but attack the country? Do you know what the crazy part about the Taliban is? America trained them because we were in a Cold War, remember, with Russia back in the 80s. So America trained Middle Eastern men to how to fight, how to operate guns and stuff like that. That's the reason why some of their military is a little strong or whatever over there. They were there to do a policing action for us in Russia, just in case some shit popped off, right? So America trained their enemies. How does that work? How does that work? Somebody tell me how that works. So, not only was World War II the biggest war that this world has ever seen, There hasn't been one like that since then. Now, some people can say, well, you gotta remember, what's the place over in South Korea? Vietnam. Well, Vietnam was bad too. Not as bad as World War II. Well, Afghanistan, the war on terror is a big war. Not as big as World War II. Gotta remember, America was going at it with not just Russia, but not Russia. Sorry, Germany, I believe. No, not Germany. No, just Japan. Sorry. Oh, this is another action that America did during that time. They locked up and put in internment camps the Japanese people who not only came over here from for refuge and to begin a new life, but they also locked up Japanese-born citizens. I mean, not Japanese-born citizens. Japanese American-born citizens in these internment camps. So, I forgot what I was just about to say, so let's keep going. If you can allow me to land the Biden real quick, pause. If you could. How you gonna say a man that was basically looking on his next hit is far bigger than a man who not only led the civil rights movement, which he didn't want to in the first place. He didn't want to. But his father, Michael King Sr., which if you don't know, Martin Luther King's real name is Michael. Martin Luther is his moniker. So Michael King Jr. not only didn't want to be the leader of the civil rights movement or the head of it, he didn't even want to do that. He wanted just to, sit out and watch from the sidelines. But his father convinced him to do it. So he did. So he led the movement to the best of his abilities. Gave some of the greatest speeches that you'll ever hear. Not only that, he then tells these very people that he led that I'm sorry. Everything that I thought that the president was going to give us isn't the exact thing that he's going to give us. You got to remember, Lyndon Baines Johnson, from the outside looking in, it looked like, oh, he really wants to help black people. No. He twisted every fucking thing that King has spoke to him about, and then we get desegregation, which Michael King Jr. says to him, I just want my people to have equal rights to white folks. He goes, okay, I think I can do something about that thing. Right? Hold on. So Lyndon Baines Johnson did whatever the hell he wanted to do. The American government didn't, past tense, don't present tense, and won't, future tense, give a damn what we think or what we want as a people, as black people. They don't give a fuck. We vote for, well, let me not say we, because I don't vote. So, you guys voted for this man to be in office thinking that your college student loans were going to be forgiven. You thought that since we're going to get the boogeyman out, that this man is going to do more for us than what he did, than what Trump did. Then we get Biden, we get Obama's vice president, so he's going to do some things that Obama wanted to do. And then we get the first black woman running mate to ever win an election to be vice president. But we all forget about her history and what she did. And she even lies about who she is. They say the first black woman president, vice president to be elected into office. Once she gets in there, they call her the first Asian American woman to be voted into office. Now, a lot of y'all are saying, well, she is black because her dad's black. No, her father is Jamaican and Irish, I believe. Her mother is a Brahmin. It's a color shade in India that determines your status in the country. So y'all know how we see those dark-skinned Indians that come over here? They are treated so fucking bad in that country. It's ridiculous. Then you have Kamala's people, which are more browner in skin color. They don't get treated as bad, but they get by. And then you have the white-looking ones that are basically the white people of India, basically. But we didn't have these people to talk to us and shit like that. So, now, Biden, have you ever thought about, let me see what I said here. Have you ever thought why, and I know you don't listen to a damn thing we say, but have you ever thought why all of our black leaders that actually led us black people, right, and then died doing so, but have you ever thought that the leaders that us as a people picked with our own hands said that one, we want that one to lead us into freedom or liberation or whatever. But then the American government puts Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Sean King, what's her name? The chick from BLM that paid for them houses. I just know her last name Colors. And her, the people that helped her out and created Black Lives Matter, as well as all the other, Tamika Mallory and all them. We didn't pick them. They just decided one day that we are going to lead our people, and then they got compromised by either big corporations or the government. Those aren't our leaders. I hope you guys do know that. These people are not our fucking leaders. Because Colors is buying $1 million homes, and then when the shit gets found out, she's leaving Black Lives Matter again. After $90 million was donated to the fucking company, basically, the organization. Then you have Al Sharpton, which has never had, let me call him by his full moniker, the Reverend Al Sharpton, who has never had a church a day in his life, is leading us into freedom with that bumbling idiot, Benjamin Crump. Along with Reverend Jesse Jackson, who has never had a church, nor have we heard him spit a sermon. He has never spit a verse at all. Now, then we have all the other ones. Hell, Tamika Mallory's doing Cadillac commercials. Niggas, what? What's her excuse? Oh, I did it because, you know, my organization, because I was underneath of Reverend Al Sharpton, red flag, because our organization needs money and stuff like that. Bitch, stop. It's easy to go and do like a big jam, like do something for the kids, get some donations like that, and then while people are there, have people go around and ask, hey, would you like to donate to the cause? Either people will go into their pockets and give you little twos and fews, or they won't. Just take it as is. And the leaders that we did pick, they all died violently, or they were locked up in jail without. Well, let me say it like this: how everybody used to, how everybody used to say, got locked up and threw away the key, and some of them ended up in an insane asylum. What in the fuck is happening to us as black people in this country? Like, everybody bigs these people up, but it's like, are you crazy? And this is the funny thing. There's a man that some of us black folks has picked, but he gets made fun of because and this is one reason why I stopped following what he was saying, because he went on the social media in like 2014, 2015, and what people don't understand, and probably what he didn't understand, the world wasn't ready for him yet. Well, the world in the sense of social media, because he was already speaking around the world. The person I'm talking about is Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Abdullah Johnson. Clinical psychologist and school therapist. I think that's his full title. That's a person that we actually did pick. But, you know, some things happened and stuff like that, and, you know, whatever. But that's a man that we actually did pick. For the simple fact that he had a dream. He had a dream that he would plant a school owned and operated by black folks. Yeah. Some people find that as crazy, because why? For the past, 40, 50 years, we've been going to public school or private. So an independent school sounds very eerie and unreachable, because we got to give our money out every week or every 2 weeks to keep this school sustained. Yeah. It takes that. If you want your child to have the best education, learn skills, because we don't learn skills in school like we used to. It's either you get handpicked by the school to do vocational learning, or you don't. I know I wanted to, but I didn't get to. I wasn't picked. Now, what is it that black people have to see in order for them to understand certain shit? because I understand it, and I bump my gums weekly, and it sounds like nobody really wants to hear what the fuck I'm saying. Now, when something's about to happen, alarms usually fire. Or after something happens, alarms go off. That's what I meant. Alarms go off before something happens. I'm only telling you, I am an alarm for shit in this world that you probably don't know, that you probably don't care about, which is basically what I'm about to talk on in a little while. Why do you like being distracted so much? With bullshit. We talking about a man, Martin Luther King, who led his people the best way he could and got just a smidgen of what he actually wanted. Because, you get the John Lewis Freedom to Vote bill didn't go through this week, which in there the bill stated not multicultural. What's the word that minority. That doesn't mean black people. That means people other than white folks. Hope you guys know that when they say minorities, that doesn't mean black people. That means people of all races who are not white. This is another thing. Why is it that the voters' rights bill has to be voted on every 10 years? I thought in this country we had a right to vote. Anyway, but then he touts a man that was basically, in a way, a drug addict. And I'm not coming at George Floyd whatsoever. So if his family sees this and tries to get me on defamation, I'm not. You knew what your brother was doing, so quit that bullshit. I'm just saying, you can't have somebody that did shit over a man that did everything that he could to save people. You know what else got Dr. King killed? As well as Malcolm X. Started unifying not just black people, but all people. Gotta remember, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King are dualities. Malcolm did what Martin did in reverse. And then Martin did what Malcolm did going forward. They're dualities. We needed both of them. Once Malcolm X was told that he couldn't practice Islam anymore in the Nation of Islam, which is weird to me because if you convert to a religion, who the hell can tell you what you can and can't do with your own faith? So he was exonerated. Well, not exonerated, but he was basically I forgot the word, but basically they didn't fuck with him no more. So he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take my Hajj to Mecca." That's the journey for most people who don't know. I'm gonna take my Hajj into Mecca, get my finger on what's been happening. Then when I come back, I'll tell my people what the next move is going to be. Malcolm X went over to Mecca, and he started seeing all walks of life: Asian, black, white, Indian, Middle Eastern, all walks of life. He was like, whoa, it's just not the black man that has the faith of Islam. He drank from the waters of Zamzam. He did his 7 revolutions around the Kaaba. He shared a meal and a drink with a white man, of which he thought that he hated. He came back and he said, you know what? That's the way to go. I'm gonna get the Black Muslim Incorporated going, and although I don't want to, but I will need some white allies. J. Edgar Hoover in the American government called one to that off of his head. Get your hands out my pockets. Martin Luther King, not only did he feel as though that I fucked up, but I'm still going to need some of these white allies to fight with me. Nah, off with his head. He gets shot from a firehouse across the street from the Lorraine Hotel to which he was staying in, which videos have came out basically stating that everybody that was with him was working with the government. Friendlies will not have ties on. Martin Luther King, when he died, he had a tie on. Well, who was with him? Well, Jesse Jackson was one of the people that was with him that day. Ooh. Just got cold all of a sudden. But George Floyd's death was more important than Martin Luther King's. You must be out of your motherfucking mind. For the simple fact that, why would you even say some bullshit like that? I would say this, people. Next election, Biden should not be president. For the simple fact that he doesn't have your best interests at heart. And number 2, he doesn't give a fuck about what the hell you think. And he just came out and said, I felt like I haven't done anything for black people. Because you haven't. And you never won't. And you never will. Let me continue with this article. I just had to give you guys a little bit of peace of my mind. So the rest of the article basically says Biden made the comments in June of 2020 during an economic reopening roundtable in Philadelphia, weeks after Floyd's death. During the discussion, Biden was explaining how smartphones have mobilized people all over the world to participate in the movement against police brutality. Even Dr. King's assassination did not have the worldwide impact that George Floyd's death did. You know why? Because once the news broke that Martin Luther King died, this whole fucking country went up in flames. We talking New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Fort Lauderdale, I guess if black people was living there, Miami, L.A., Chicago, anywhere in Texas was up in flames. So, Let's see. Where's that? Well, even Dr. King's assassination did not have the well-out impact that George Floyd's death did. Biden said during the discussion, "It's just like television changed the civil rights movement for the better when they saw Bull Connor and his dogs ripping the clothes off an elderly black woman, going to church and fire hoses ripping the skin off of young kids. What happened to George Floyd? Now, what happened to George Floyd? Now you got how many people around the country, millions of cell phones. He added, it's changed the way everybody's looking at this. Look at the millions of people marching around the world. The video was reposted on various social media platforms, but nobody gave a fuck on Monday. Many again criticizing Biden's comments. Some called the remarks disgusting. Others expressed shock over the comparison. After Biden made the comments in 2020, Alveda King, Martin Luther King Jr.'s niece, also criticized then presumptive Democratic nominee. I believe that Mr. Biden continues to speak from his basement. Basically, she probably said his ass. From a reality that is different from what's happening in the real world, King told the Daily Caller News Foundation in June of 2020. Why is it necessary to compare Martin Luther King Jr. and George Floyd? Monday, Biden posted a video pushing for voting rights, saying Americans can commit to Dr. King's unfinished work of delivering jobs and justice and protecting the sacred rights to vote. Because Dr. King wanted black men and black women to be able to vote, just like white women and white men was able to vote, right? Living up to his legacy and what Dr. King believed our nation could become requires more than just reflection. It requires action. Biden tweeted. Biden tweeted. That is why the Congress must pass federal legislation to protect the right to vote. That is some bullshit, and everybody knows it. But real fast, everybody, if you could, can you like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you're new. Hit that bell icon to all. What I will do before I get into the topic, I know you're like, damn, that wasn't the topic. So what we heard today? No, not at all. Always do what I have to say last. I get all the bullshit out first. So I'll take a quick break, and I do mean quick. I'll take a quick break, and you guys do as well. Get yourself something to drink, roll something up, smoke it, or if you have a cigarette, just spark it. If you haven't already been smoking, warm some food up so you can have something to eat. I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes, and I'll be right back with you. All right. Test. Everybody, what is going on? We are gonna be back. Let me write something in the chat for y'all. All right, so let me turn this music down. Now, if you guys, looked at listened to what I was saying about Biden, that's your man, and all that, I don't really give a damn, but I will say to this, I always say it, I'm nor Democrat, nor Republican, nor liberal, or conservative. I'm a free thinker. And what I say is basically what the fuck I mean. So if you have a problem with it, it's fine, but I'm just telling you, it's not, I really don't care if you think that I'm a Republican at that and a conservative. I really don't care because of how I spit my views. Because I did tell you before black folks was Democrats, we all was Republicans first. Maybe I hold my grandparents' way of thinking in me still, maybe, I guess. All right, so let's get into today's topic. And we'll do it like this.
Hi everyone, it's Yanis here, and in this video we will explore what is distraction and how it affects our daily life. I'll be also sharing some examples of distraction so that it is easier to understand what it is and what role it plays in our life. If this is your first time on this channel, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to get updates on my latest videos about time management and productivity. So if you
do that for me as well.
Writing a blog post, your desired area of focus, and suddenly you get a notification on your phone and you start to use your phone, then you just get distracted. Distraction is often caused by different aspects, so let's take a look at few of them. Number one, lack of ability to pay attention. Let's say that you're trying to prepare the presentation at work and you're working in an open office. People are talking to each other and being loud. If that wouldn't be enough, they also constantly distract you by asking you questions. In this situation, you lack the ability to pay attention to your presentation and you'll be struggling to deliver high quality of work. Number two, lack of interest in an object of attention. In this case, let's say you're working from your home office on your own, so there is absolutely nothing that can get you distracted. But you still can't get any work done. Why? Well, if there is no interest in the work that you're doing, then you'll not be able to focus as it doesn't really interest you. Number three, great attractiveness of something other than the object of attention. You might be working from home on your website, but your housemates are watching a really cool movie that you also want to see. In this case, you will leave your website work and watch the movie, as this will be more interesting activity. Distractions come from both external sources and internal sources. External distractions include factors such as visual triggers, social interactions, music, text messages, and phone calls. There are also internal distractions such as hunger, fatigue, illness, worrying, and daydreaming. Both external and internal distractions contribute to the interference of focus. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I was able to give you a quick overview about what distraction is and what role it plays in your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new...
Alright, so that is the last video of the night. And I want to ask this question to you guys. Why are you so damn distracted? Like, why? Like, I just want to know. Like, there's countless things happening in this country, if not in the world. And we are, see, check this out. I don't know how to say that because I don't speak Russian. Can you please not? Because you're just gonna get blocked. Alright? And you too, Ashton Zazzler. Blocked. Jesus. Now, we're so fucking distracted from some bullshit. Like, it's usually foolishness that we're distracted from. I give you guys a look and a foretelling every week of what you should be paying attention to. If not, at least have awareness of. But what happens? None of it. You guys just don't give a damn. So, oh shit. I did not want to play that. Alright, let me get out of here so I can continue the show. Alright. So, this is how I want to start this off. We live in a world where distractions are a norm. We don't look up because our heads are stuck in our phones or glued to some screen. I'm guilty of this as well, but I have enough self-control that I can sit here in front of you and tell you we have a problem. There's some real shit happening in the world that most of us really don't give a damn about. But why? The Bill of Rights say in the beginning sentence, "We the people," and we have yet to understand what that means. Haven't we suffered enough? Hell, aren't we suffering now with the whole pandemic and mask mandates? And if SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, didn't knock down President Biden's OSHA mandates, we would have had to take the jab forcefully, and y'all don't care about that. Oh, you care more about if a black man dies from the hands of from a cop than hold on, hands of a cop, then has his own, then, okay, this is what I meant, because I wrote this and I didn't proofread this shit first. So here we go. A black man dies from the hands of a cop, then he does his own black brother. But y'all don't hear me. But my focus today isn't on that. It's more on this space that we call YouTube. But it is sort of kind of on the space of what I just spoke of as well too, but mostly on YouTube. I spoke on this briefly on this show before. I even cowered from saying this on my first show at the beginning of this year. But not today. I'm sick and tired of all of this bullshit that comes across my social media and YouTube and etc. Why is it that all of this the stuff that is presented to us on these apps or sites that is malnourishment to the mind that can potentially hurt us is pushed to us, and the things that I say and people alike, like me, who have shows like this, that the stuff that they do speak is nourishing to the mind, isn't pushed to us most of the time, like me, are shadow banned in our social medias or YouTube channels don't flourish because of the woke liberal. Hold on. Woke liberal and left doesn't want us to tell you the truth. The government doesn't want us to hear, doesn't want you to hear the truth as well. Like, I want to ask a real respectful question, respectfully. Are you dumb or something? Like, for real. Are you? Look, I see content creators and by all means make your money, but I feel that what I'm about to say is important. Y'all like reaction videos with disembodied voices of people you'll never see online or in person. Review videos of other people's shows or channels. Commentary videos on stupid social topics. Not all, because I like some. Like content creators, Playback and Abba and Preach. But others that don't have a clear and concise thought to further the understanding of the video or article of what they're presenting is nauseating. You guys spent 12 years in school and you didn't learn nothing. You didn't try to apply what you learned in school. I tried to use everything I learned in school. And to be honest, I did not like school, but I applied myself enough while I was there and then started to learn more after I left. Hell, I learn every week before I come on here to this channel and present stories to you guys. I deal with real life situations and real things going on in the world and here in this country. I present to y'all 3 things that are happening in this country in the beginning of this show, and I swear you don't care. I believe you guys do not care for the simple fact that some of the things that I did present to y'all was fluff. It really doesn't matter. But some of the things that I did present to you guys actually do matter. Such as Biden's MLK comments, as well as him overly taxing small businesses and people alike. But I will say, some of the things that I did speak on, such as the smash and grabs of freight cars, that's important too, because I'm just like you. If you pay for something, you do expect to get it in a timely fashion. But the G4 meltdown of Frost and the Jason Derulo stuff were just things to throw out there to y'all because I feel like it's important in a way, but it's also funny. So I want to make you guys laugh as well. Alright? Now, if you can, for me, just real quick, can you like this video? Share this video. And if you're new, hit that bell icon to all. And don't forget to leave a comment. But don't spam my motherfucking chat room. Thank you. Alright. I bet money y'all don't give a fuck about what I said, but these things will personally affect y'all one day, and I bet y'all are worried about what new album from a whack mumble rap artist is coming out, or how these Insta thoughts are shaking their ass. I don't mind. I partake every so often. Those girls got skills. Well, some of them are. Just saying. But, or what's happening on Love and Hip Hop, and model your lives after these washed up and or never will be discovered rappers and singers, or sports, aka Run Nigga Run or Jump Nigga Jump for masses enjoyment games. Or take your pick on the distractions you watch and consume every day. I have my vices, I can't lie, I do, but I make sure I get back to this real shit. Y'all probably didn't know that the Voters' Right Act, aka the John Lewis Act, is up to be voted on, which I spoke on and it didn't go through. The Voters' Right Act affects white men and black people mostly, etc. But no one cares. Y'all are more focused on the new TikTok dances or the latest filters to use, and y'all don't see this as a problem to your adult development. To be more productive citizens in society, and further your knowledge, or more knowledgeable people. I mean, I'm getting what's it called? Dyslexia right now. Productive citizens, and to further your be a more knowledgeable person. So when you talk to people, they see that you know a little something when you speak. Because I remember when I was in school. You would be made fun of in school for being smart or being a bookworm or wanting to get straight A's. And my crew of friends in high school, you couldn't hang with us if you was getting bad grades. We would make fun of you if you did. Where am I at? We would make fun of you if you didn't make anything less than a C plus. And we would make fun of you if you didn't maintain a B to B plus average. If you average, you wasn't cool to us. Because we knew you could make good grades and be cool, we didn't play sports, and we didn't have teachers looking out for us and lie on our grades so we could stay on the football or basketball team. We knew working hard and achieving in class was the sport, and on top of that, we was popular. And popularity brings girls, and we had lots of them as well. And we had the baddest of the bad popular girls, not our girlfriends. That was our close friends. We had it made. The same reflected at our after school jobs. We all was winning at our respective workplaces. I worked at a grocery store. I worked at Food Line grocer. Three of my homeboys worked at fast food, which was McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell, and Burger King. And my other homeboy worked at Circuit City when it was here. What I'm saying here, we applied ourselves at school and work and home to make our parents proud of us, and we stayed out of trouble. Sorry, hold on. All right, stayed out of trouble while doing all of this. If you use the skills you learn in school and apply them to your life, now you can achieve anything. And one more time, people, if you can you like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you're new, and hit that bell icon to get all my notifications immediately, as well as drop a comment, please. All right. Let's where am I? Okay, so, but y'all like looking at, see, K Seth, peace out. But y'all like looking at creators who do whack ass shit on the internet and calling it entertainment. I could only look at y'all whack niggas for a little while until I'm asking myself this question. Is this an act, or is this really the person that they really are? It's sickening at times, because at first I root for you because you're fresh, new, full of hope and ambition, but I look at it as, what the fuck is this sometimes. I love doing these videos where I get to exercise my mind and show y'all how smart I am and bring y'all this raw, real shit without beating y'all with my intellect like some YouTubers I watch them. I want to be the difference here on this platform, not the same old cookie cutter YouTuber that you are used to seeing. Like most things that go on, either if it's some story about a black man being shot or something that happening on social media is mostly a distraction, while real shit is happening around the country, better yet the world. But y'all don't hear me though. I really didn't think I would do YouTube videos because I like watching YouTube more. I like watching YouTube videos more, and I like to soak up knowledge and doing research on what I watched and learned. Not saying YouTube should be all learning based, but I learned how to fix things around my house, my car, from YouTube. So it's a tool essentially, but fire can heat a baby's bottle to stop a child's cries, as well as burn a house down if used wrong. So social media and YouTube can help as well as hurt. I just want to be more of the helping side than the hurting side. It is what it is. I'm just one guy. If you've been to my channel and liked what I've said and like what I said, you sub. Like what I said. Hold on. Like what I said. Like what I said, and you sub. Thank you. If you came and left because you wanted to be entertained by shenanigans and didn't like what I was saying, okay, that's fine. Thank you for coming, and fuck you as well. I'm not for small-brained, weak thinkers like yourself. YouTube used to be a utopia of knowledge, funny videos, skills to learn, and more. Now we still have that, but it gets overshadowed by the foolishness that is being brought before us, and this very same foolishness is shaping the minds of young children and young adults. It's two cancers on here named the manosphere and the divestment movement, which is remarkably called the red pill movement and the pink pill movement and or feminism or feminists. And the views these people get are ridiculous. Like I have to say, these groups are part of the reason why the battle of the sexes have spun out of control. It is scary because both groups should sound homosexual. Not saying that that's a problem, but I'm just saying it sounds homosexual. And are leading young people down the path of hating the opposite sex for unchecked, not thought out, stupid, ridiculous, and uneducated, nonsensical facts that hold no merit. It's dumb and uneducated guesses that no one have researched. Real research about why these things are happening between men and women. Or do real research to do why this happens between men and women. Real quick. Again, I'm going to keep doing this while I'm talking because I really would like if you guys did this. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can get all of my notifications. And each time I do this, some Russian name pops up. Leave a comment as well. And if you do comment, if you're watching, you bot, you will get blocked. So why keep doing it? All right. Now, here we go. I'll leave with this. If you like me, cool. Sub to me, please. I do this every weekend. I'm not the black chant. Hold on. If not, I don't know what the hell I was trying to say here. Oh, okay, this is what I meant. If you don't like me, block the channel, but you'll be back. I know you'll be back. I wanted to do this today because there's a whole bunch of nonsense going on here on this platform that I've loved to watch since I was in my late teens in the early mid-2000s. I just hate. Yes, I just dated myself. All right. I just hate that all this. All of these social media outlets have gone woke and are only catering to the alphabet groups and liberalism. but they left no room for the guys that come to this platform to hear the truth that isn't being said on corporate media or the high school or college classroom. We just want to make this stuff fair and equal for everyone, everyone to enjoy this place again. If it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have became conscious. I wouldn't have learned about my Islamic faith, nor would I have learned about Black culture and hear from Black leaders from every decade, from Reconstruction till today. I don't like to be distracted from the real shit that's happening on this earth and that can affect me and you on a day-to-day basis, and neither should you. Because if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. Malcolm X said that back in the 60s. Until this day, it stands true. Don't be an idiot. Shine some light on that brain of yours and plant some seed. Plant a seed in that mind of yours. Water it with knowledge, with good knowledge, and watch that brain grow. You'll thank me later. The mind is a beautiful thing, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Arthur Fletcher. So everybody, that was today's show. I only had something short to say other than, my topics that I brought in today. I really thought that I should have said this today. Came across my heart because, for the simple fact that there's various people that I've covered on this show, such as Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, the Manosphere, the divestment movement, and some other bullshit on here that really we shouldn't really be seeing this. Not saying it should be blocked or anything, but I am saying that be smart, know what's good to look at and to listen to, and just make sure that if you have kids and they're watching this stuff, just monitor what they're watching. All right, be a parent for once. Quit being one of these 2010 parents that don't look at shit that their kids are doing. They just allow the TV, the PlayStation, and the iPad to raise them. All right, actually be a parent. All right, because you never know. Your child could be getting harassed or sexually abused through the PlayStation, the iPad, but you wouldn't know it because you're allowing your child to be raised by these things. These things are toys, and toys are only meant to be played with when you've achieved something that will help you. Now, I respect certain parents that only allow their kids an hour or two to with their kids to be on like the iPad and game consoles. Although I applaud them, but sometimes I look at it like you shouldn't have to do this. But it's just what I think. But to cap this off, I really feel as though that these platforms have been compromised, to say the most, by bullshit, and I don't really feel as though that we should allow this shit to keep happening. Like I said, this place used to be a utopia for some cool shit. I saw a lot of cool shit on this platform. I still do, but the nonsense overshadows all of it. And I believe I believe that we can get back to it. But since the rules have been changed so many times on here, I really feel as though that might be hard to get back to it. So, if you're a content creator and you're watching this, just make something that is palatable and that everyone can be able to swallow it smoothly. Let all that nonsense die out, because there's no reason for it. As well, just do what I said that me and my high school friends did. Make something that you feel as though that your parents would be proud of. Because if they're not proud of you for what you do, then who will be? Alright, that has been tonight's show. Let me get my theme music in here. Let me pop up this music real fast so I know when to pause it. So, that has been today's show, people. Turn this down a little bit. If you can, don't forget that Marcus Speaks Live comes on every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't want to miss it. Always have a hard-hitting topic waiting for you guys. And so it's a cool show to watch. Alright? Don't forget, on Fridays, I do a game stream where I play a lot of my favorite games as well as a certain selected few of new releases. You don't want to miss it, because that's a good show as well. I believe it's a good show. So you guys should watch this. Yeah. If you can, you follow my first show, which this beautiful show is on. This is my main channel, my first channel, my baby, Marcus Speaks. And if you can go over there, because right on my main channel, you can find my second channels. You can find my second channel on Marcus Speaks Play. So you can go underneath the promotional video that's on the top of Marcus Speaks Play. Go to Marcus Speaks Play, subscribe to that as well as subscribe to me. Hit the bell icon so also you can get all my notifications once I go live. Alright? And as well, go to Twitch. If I do the same thing on Marcus Speaks Play that I do on Twitch, but I know some people like Twitch better than YouTube. So check me out on Twitch at Marcus Speaks Play. I've been using Restream.com to do this broadcast, which I can simultaneously cast this anywhere, but I just stuck to my YouTube channel today. Instead of going to Facebook or Twitter or Twitch. I just kept it here for some fact that I don't feel as though everybody should hear everything that I'm saying. If you can, if you have a game recommendation for me to play, or if you have a story or article that you want to recommend to me, let me know. As well as if you have something that like a recommendation that I can do for my show, something that I can do in between different topics and stuff like that. Just let me know either in the live chat right here, or you can let me know in the comment section, which that will be brought up after this is done. Or you can hit me up in my DMs on social media. So you can do that. Follow me on social media at Instagram at Marcus.Speaks.Podcast, as well as Facebook at Marcus Speaks, which is my personal page. And I have a new page up there on Facebook called Marcus Speaks Podcast. The way you can find that is type in Marcus Speaks Podcast on Facebook and in the search bar, or you can type it on your address bar, www.facebook.com/Marcus Speaks PC. The M camouflage as well as the DMC is camouflage. I'm also on Twitter at MarcusSpeaks25. My username over there is MarcusSpeaks Podcast. Follow me over there. Check all those links out that I have in the description box, and follow me, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I follow back. So make sure that let me know that my and I'll subscribe. And if you can, please like this video, share this video, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon to all so you get all my notifications. And don't forget to leave a comment. Now look, I'm out of here, alright? I've been on here too long bumping my gum, so I thank you guys for watching, and I'll check you out next Friday. Peace out.